So it's midwinter here in New Zealand and we've got a few weeks to finally catch our breath. So we thought it was a great chance to reflect on the previous 6 months of our rally season, which started right back in March with the first round of the Australian Rally Championship in Canberra. Obviously taking on an Australian Rally Championship this year for the first time was a big challenge for our team, working away from home, preparing the car, working in unfamiliar territory, obviously new roads, new competition. It's a challenge that we're all up to, and couldn't have started any better in Canberra. Despite being first on the road, we were able to battle through the first day with Harry and Scott having some issues and take away maximum points. Unfortunately, that didn't carry on the second day. We're literally 5 kilometres into the first stage. We encountered a kangaroo who wasn't that thrilled to get off the road. So unfortunately, the damage to the car was too severe for us to continue. While it was mostly cosmetic, the radiator damage meant there was no way we had a chance to get through the loop, and that put a big dent in our championship right at the start. The way the structure is over there is that you get points awarded daily, so we effectively missed out on a whole day of points, which certainly put us on the back foot. But we're determined to pick up the pieces from that and move on and try and redeem ourselves over the next couple of rallies. But before we did that, it was back home to New Zealand for one of my favourite rallies in the world, Rally Targo. And what better way to do it than in a BDA escort up against the likes of Chris Meek and Dean Bewis and the other locals. And after doing it 10 years ago, where we obviously had a very good result, it was a rally we were very much looking forward to, and thanks to Tim McIver and the use of his car, we were able to go out and have some skids and have a lot of fun. Unfortunately, again, it was almost over before it started. Stage 1, we had a failure in the uni on the bottom of the steering, and basically come around a right-hander and then find that we have no steering at all. The car went straight ahead. So fortunately, it actually happened in probably a good part of the stage, but it meant that we weren't able to have that battle that both us and everyone was anticipating with Chris. But we're able to rejoin on the second day, go out and have some skids, have some fun, set a new record on Curry Bush. Obviously, the highlight was taking our WRC car through Curry Bush. Both a very nerve-wracking experience, also quite challenging when you go from doing the stage in a Mark II Escort to then 20 minutes later hopping in a WRC car, and the first corner definitely approached on you a lot quicker. But certainly pretty privileged to take that car through that stage, and the amount of people that were out to enjoy it with us, and probably some unfinished business there. We didn't put down the best stage, but we kept it clean, and that was the main objective, and as I say, showcase the car to many people. So following this, we come back to Timaru, one of my local rallies where I obviously grew up. Not part of the New Zealand Championship this year. We're sort of focusing on events around the world and fitting in New Zealand rallies where we can. But together with our new partnership with Hankook Tyres, it allows us to go out and test some new product, but also go out and enjoy some of the best rally roads in the world. So Timaru, as I say, going back to my roots where it all started with our trusty old Hyundai AP4 that we keep saying is retired, but it never seems to retire. We went out, had a nice clean rally, a few little mechanical dramas along the way, but all in all, we just went out and enjoyed ourselves. We got the win, which was awesome, and it was good to get some of that momentum going and going forward. So then it was on to round 2 of the Australian Rally Championship in Perth, out on the west coast of Australia, working alongside the team that we're working with this year, which is Lane and Race Talk Engineering, obviously based in Perth. It gave us a good base to go prepare the cars and get ready for the rally ahead. So it was a new rally again for us, but we've heard a lot of good things about Perth. We had a good test. We finally got a new engine upgrade on the car, so this definitely gave us some extra performance going into this round. And while we're eagerly excited about our road position for prior to the event of 4th on the road, rain prior to the event, I guess, took away that advantage. So we're a little bit on the back foot, but we pushed through. We had a really good first day. We were able to win the day, take maximum points, and then the second day we were able to come out and repeat that. But it was certainly a big push, and the thing we've been really enjoying about the rally's been separated into 2 days and 2 lots of points is that you've had to push on both days to try and get the result. So when everyone starts from scratch again on day 2, everyone's out there pushing. So every stage mattered, and it was a close battle on both day 1 and day 2. On day 1 with Scott, it come down to the last stage, and we had to really push on the last stage of day 1. And then again on day 2, we're on the back foot early on. We're able to recover, get back to a position where we're, I think 3 of us were separated by 2 or 3 seconds going into the power stage, and it come down to a final power stage push. So it was great to come away with maximum points and actually got us back in the championship lead earlier than we expected. So then it was on to a little quick trip to Europe and a way to go enjoy some European summer. Our first time back in Europe since we won the European Championship last year, and we were very lucky to get invited to the two events. Initially we were going over for Ypres Rally, a very famous tarmac rally based out of Belgium. But literally a week before this, we got a last minute call up to go do the Donegal Rally in Ireland. And of course, Ireland's got a huge history of rallying. Been on my bucket list for a long, long time. So when the opportunity came up, despite the lack of preparation time, it was something that I jumped at. So it was awesome to go over there with the C&M Motorsport team. We had a lot of extra challenges. So with the way the entry system works and the late change of drivers, we used the original co-driver, which was Dave Monaghan. Got on really well with Dave. We both had to learn each other very quickly. We had to learn our pace note system and adapt over the week of the rally, and loved our time there. Unreal rally, unreal atmosphere, enthusiasm. We're battling for the podium on what were very challenging stages, probably the most committed high-speed stages that I've experienced, especially being so narrow and so bumpy, but loved it. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get to the end. We had a little whoopsie where the car fell over. I sort of outbraked myself a little bit, so that wasn't so ideal. But luckily, limited damage was done, and still the experience was once in a lifetime. And we certainly had some unfinished business to go back there and try and correct that. And then straight on the plane from there, we went to Ypres the following week. For Ypres, we had Jared, who flew over from New Zealand to join us. And for this one, we're working with BMA Motorsport team, a local team in Europe, again with the Hyundai Rally 2. And a rally I had some memories of from 12, 13 years earlier, but all the stages were different. So basically we're starting from scratch. But we went out and I guess coming off the back of Ireland, had some momentum, had a good feeling for the car on tarmac, and to be honest, probably surprised ourselves with our speed. We were competing on or fighting for the win for most of the rally. Ended up second, which was probably still more than what we expected. But more importantly, again, just really enjoyed the week and experience, and being back in Europe and meeting and talking with a lot of people that we haven't seen for a long time, and generally just keeping our foot in the rally circles all around the world. Straight from there, we're on the plane again for our third event in 3 weeks, and by this stage it was getting quite demanding with the jet lag. Certainly a lack of sleep by the time we got to Queensland for round 3 of the Australian Rally Championship, and probably the rally I struggled with the most throughout the year from a personal performance perspective. The car and everything was working really well during the rally, but simply just things weren't quite clicking. So it was certainly demanding, and it was probably one of the rougher rallies of the championship, which maybe doesn't suit our package quite as well. So for me personally, before the rally, I sort of took a pill and just decided this was a rally just for us to limit the damage, get the points that we could on the board. Obviously when we're fighting for a championship, it's important to keep accumulating. So didn't really go in with so much expectation. Obviously still doing the best job we could and keep the pressure on, and luckily over the weekend things sort of fell our way that we weren't expecting. Scott and Harry both had a few issues. We had a close fight with both throughout the rally, and very fortunately for us, we were able to come out on top on both day one and on day two. We were a few seconds short on day one, but obviously to take home the overall rally win was more than we expected, which extended our championship lead. So at the halfway point of the Australian Rally Championship, it's a proper close fight in Aussie. We're loving it. The fight with both the Toyota team and Scott Petter, and of course Alex Rulo, who's doing a great job. Very high competition. Those boys are all driving very fast there, and we're loving that we're having to step up. Obviously, when we're doing it on brand new stages and new events, it adds to the challenge, but that's what we love. It actually adds to the adrenaline rush we get as well when we're pushing on unfamiliar territory. But we're loving it, but we also know that there's a big challenge ahead in the second half of the season now. So of course we have another 3 rounds of the Australian Rally Championship. We've got some more rallies here in New Zealand. We've got of course Ashley Forest Rally Sprint here, which we've got some big aims for, to try and see if we can lower that record and see how close to 50 seconds we can get. But yeah, we've got a big second half of the year coming up, which also includes a couple more events in Europe. So looking forward to the next 6 months and see what we can come home with championship-wise and trophy-wise come the end of the season.